This week in film scoring, we are going to be continuing to score. We're going to continue our weekly scoring, as well as we're going to be listening to some of the works of Henry Mancini. Henry Mancini, the master of moving parts, who wrote Peter Gunn, classic, was for a 50s or 60s TV show, but then became even more famous by being the Blues Brothers theme. He also wrote Pink Panther, perfect lower neighbor E minor melody, da 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 da. Perfect. What could be better than the utter simplicity and memorableness of the Pink Panther theme? He also did the music for Breakfast at Tiffany's. He wrote the song in Breakfast at Tiffany's, Moon River, da, 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 beautiful, schmaltzy, perfect timepiece for that movie. He also wrote the score to the movie. So this was before pop songs were as important in movies as they are today. And yet Mancini for Breakfast at Tiffany's wrote not only the score, but the pop song that we hear lilting through this sort of beautiful period piece with Audrey Hepburn in it. And any time I walked past Tiffany's in New York, anybody who's seen that movie can't possibly forget Breakfast at Tiffany's. It has a beautiful sentimentality. It captures the wildness of New York. There's some unfortunate racism in it, but it's a phenomenal movie overall as a timepiece and encapsulation of a stylized New York. Breakfast at Tiffany's, not to be missed, score by Henry Mancini. And then, of course, there's the Pink Panther movies and cartoons, which Mancini scored. We are going to be listening to the Pink Panther theme. And one of the things to listen to in the full studio recording of the Pink Panther theme is how well Mancini weaves the parts of the ensemble together, starts a main theme and begins a counter theme. I attempted to use that form. A really interesting assignment that you can do is take a song like Henry Mancini's Pink Panther, put it on the timeline, and marker the main sections of it. This is what I did for a film scoring assignment in my composition degree. I put the Pink Panther on the timeline and just markered the main sections. Here's the main sax thing, here's a breakdown, here's a rhythm blues thing, here's a flute thing. And then I just took those sections and wrote into them my own version of Pink Panther entitled Blue Buzzard, which is sort of a low-rent cousin to Pink Panther. It was a very interesting exercise, and it yielded some interesting results. You could break it down and write the score out and get more specific about it, but to quickly duplicate the form of a movie theme or an ensemble theme, you just bring it into Logic and marker the main sections on the timeline right into that. And I wasn't interested in transcribing the whole thing because I was wanting to write a different theme, but using the sections and the lengths from Pink Panther. So it's a very interesting assignment, and I'll play for you my version of that and how I interpreted that sort of wonderful Mancini-esque spy theme. So as we listen to Mancini, we hear this really good craftsmanship, this knowledge of all different types of music, and really beautiful, evocative of the time when he wrote it. And so we're going to be looking at that this week, and it's going to be very interesting. Also dealing during this time was Lalo Schifrin, who wrote the Mission Impossible theme, dum 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 dum, which for me, growing up in the 60s and the 70s, Pink Panther and Mission Impossible were like, along with the Batman theme, Batman, these themes were burned into our heads as kids as we ran around, practically peeing our pants in our house while these themes played. Bum 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 bum, or da dum da dum da dum ba dum, right? Or Batman. These are beautifully crafted, finely woven pop themes that stick in the brain. The key is simplicity. The key is simplicity. And so that's what we're going to be learning about this week as we continue scoring and continue to practice tight, pithy, memorable themes.